I concur.
I need about 8 sugars in that. I was hoping to get some of you Vanguardians on this live feed. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and give it to you raw. I was asking on one of my message boards, what should you feed your puppy? And my answer would be, you feed whatever you can afford. But if you want to give your dog a healthy lifestyle and live a long time, you try to feed the best that you can afford. When the first 3 ingredients in the bag is pretty much what the bag is. The first 3 ingredients. For my part, I cook a lot of my food for my animals. I cook rice. I buy lean beef, chicken. I'll put it in my NutriBullet blender. I get cinnamon and other little vitamins and nutrients and minerals like red cell and dime. And I mix it all up in a bowl with this meat, and I store it in the freezer. So every time that it's time to feed, I just actually go into the ice box and grab a variety of different things that I feel I want to share with my furry pet pal that day. So the answer to the question is, you try to get the best feed that you can get, something like Taste of the Wild, Blue Buffalo. There's several other that I have in here. I can't, just throw off the head right now. But that's basically what you want to do. You want to give your dog the best possible chance you can at having a healthy life with all the nutrients and vitamins that it needs to grow strong bones and calcium and vitamin E, D, E, C, G, whatever else that you need. So there was another question that I was asked. I was asked, when is socializing too much, or how do you socialize your puppy with thinking of protection, raising a protection puppy in the aspect of thought? So when it comes to raising a protection puppy, I certainly wouldn't raise that the way I would raise a companion puppy or agility dog, a dog I was going to use out in the show. And raising a service animal for law enforcement or military is a total different style and craft and methods that I would use in raising that animal too. So basically, if you're going to raise a protection dog, you do want the dog to be confident. You don't want to go out and have this animal feel that everyone is a hot dog dispenser machine, to where when you're working, they see people and just run up to him and his tail wagging, and he stop working and stop paying attention to you and think that he should run up to everybody. Then we know that has been too much. So enough is enough at that point. So just carrying them around in your arm, going into PetSmart and out at the beach at different places and seeing people is what I would call socializing. You don't necessarily have to be petted and greet everyone that walks by like everyone thinks. I think that is just totally the opposite of what we're trying to get as the end result. So I don't know if you guys can hear me because the music going on in the background, but I just want to stop by and give you guys those 2 tips. And I hope that you all have subscribed to my channel and you're watching those videos and you're enjoying them. You're letting the knowledge absorb and reciprocate what you're receiving from me. And if you need specific general topics and videos that you want me to create, feel free to drop them. Hey, Corey, I appreciate what you're saying. I'll keep making them Um, when I hear people like you around the world uh, tell me things like that, it keeps me going. So kudos to all of my friends here in America, in Africa, out in Europe and Holland and Japan and China. You guys are the best. And it's that love that you guys provide for me that keeps me going. And until the next time, y'all keep watching those videos and share them with your friends and tell them that you are a Vanguardian. So visit the website. Hey, hey Tate, what's up? Just here dropping information and sharing with you Vanguardians, and hope that you all enjoyed today's videos. I mean, I'm bringing back a lot of my videos from the old archive because I know that they need to be recycled because the information is there. It's what we need. It's what we're missing because I'm adding new videos, but also it's like I feel I'm doing a rerun or a broken record and repeating the same thing over. And I know that you have to keep giving the information, and once we hear it repetitive over 12, 13 repetitions, we soon get it, just like our animals with 21. So, the sooner you guys get it, the more that we'll have those dogs that are doing what we need them to do. So your program, okay, to your program, I would love to be hey, I don't know what city, what country you in, or if you're in the United States, what city you're in. Sooner or later, I'm going to be traveling the world, and all of you guys can join me. And I hope to get to that. But you're in Dallas, Texas. Well, Dallas, Texas is a long ways from Jacksonville, Florida. But hey, we can make things happen. All things are possible when we believe. What's up? Hope I don't pronounce this wrong. Medallic Soul. What's the best way to get a stubborn dog to maintain a solid focus and recall? We have to sit down sometime. For each animal, it takes a different program. Whereas you get some trainers tell you that this is just one way, he's tunnel vision, and he says that it's only one way to train an animal. So, with reading your dog and then coming back with what you're saying, I would always, have these toys. I think that you need to bond more. I think you need to create trigger words with your games. Like when you hear me do that, sometime on those videos, or you hear me go, yep. So see, when I do those, I'm triggering in this pet's mind that this magical toy is going to come off my body. And so when you create these trigger words, you're going to get more focus. And then you're going to play those other games that I told you about, which is focus, drive, and grip. Focus, drive, and grip is the foundation of getting the dog to focus on you, building his grips for protection, building up his drive for protection to play the game and keep going. So it's not that the dog is stubborn, it's just that you need to find ways to reconnect and get the dog's attention. It's never the dog, it's us. So remember, any mistake that the dog is making because we have failed to, be good managers, be good trainers, and we failed to get certain information that we probably need to go back and try again. Hey, Pete Brown, how you doing today? Um, well, yeah, I always work with the older dogs, but as far as the videos that I make for you guys, I'm always showing the reason you see mainly younger dogs in the program. It's because I'm trying to show you guys that with the methods that I'm sharing with you around the world, that they are reliable and they are effective. And so if I keep showing you the older dogs, you'll say, hey, man, you just did that with that dog. Well, will it work on my Rottweiler? Will it work on my Pit Bull? Will it work on my Labrador? And we're talking about great solid methods that should be shared with the world. So we want to, I try to go and get different younger dogs from different litters. And also it's a great way for me to market those dogs in case one of you guys want the dog that you see in the video and you want to, and you're saying in your mind, hey, I want to take that dog to the street when he's 10 months old, be my next K9 partner working for the department. So I don't want to have an older dog that's a demo dog or a dog that not for sale. I want to have these dogs that you guys can take and go on the streets and use as effective tools to fight crime. So that's why you see me always picking younger dogs. Hey, Edwin Costello, you are the best at what you do. I appreciate that. I mean, it's nothing more rewarding to hear you Vanguardians tell me stuff like that. I don't feel like I'm the best in the world, but I feel like I'm very passionate about what I do, and I feel like that because I have you as an audience, I'm trying to strive to say the correct thing and give you the correct information so that you guys have the tools to finish up your pet pals and go out here in the real world and handle the business the way it needs to be done. And so that you come home at night, so being the best at what I do, I guess if that's the best is trying to make sure that you guys come home. You out there, some of you guys out there fighting Al Qaeda, the Taliban, and other terrorists, and it's not a joke. And you got to come home. And if I give you the wrong information, that you make one bad move, and then you won't be coming home, and you have kids and family that are looking for you to come home. So my information and my methods are a long thought process of thinking of you guys in the aspect of coming home, thinking about you guys out there in the field, and you all who have businesses who are also a part of the Vanguardian program, who are trying to start your dog training programs and your sports contenders out there, and you people who just happen to be ex-police officers or ex-military with PTS or etc. And you come PTSD and you come home and you want to have the likes of having a working dog, the same way you did when you worked for the department. Hey Corey, is it true to not use dog aggressive breeds for personal? Corey, I think that is far from the truth. I don't really, in my opinion, let's look at it like this. Most departments only want German Shepherds, Belgian Malinois, Dutch Shepherds, very few pit bulls, and I've seen one. There's one pit bull that has made it to a police department somewhere out west, and then I'm not sure if the Rottweiler can ever make a comeback because we have to talk about animals that can go up under cars when they're doing area searches, looking for bombs. We're talking about animals that can get on the cockpit at the airport. We're talking about um, having the same ability in smaller dogs that larger dogs can do in protection. But when it comes to saying that a dog is an aggressive breed, I don't think that nobody, I don't think there's no breed or exists where you can say it's just a breed bred for aggressiveness. I think that aggressiveness is in all creatures, so since we're all creatures, when you're talking about dogs, there are some of them that are have different personalities. Like if you were my brother, you and I have the same mother, the same father. Okay, well, my character and your character would definitely be different, although we were both raised in the house together. Well, I could be somebody who don't have, I have low self-esteem, involve myself in mischief, where you go out here and try to walk a straight line. It's about the information. It's about getting the light bulb effect that I'm telling you guys about and walking this line. So with that being said, there's no such thing to me as a dog aggressive breed. There's just some dogs that can do the work and some that can't. There's some that are more aggressive than others, and those that are not. Because I have litters of dogs that where some perform more than others, but later on they're brought up to that same standard because I'm shaping those behaviors, and it take a little bit longer, but it never ever surpasses the one that seems to have fun that goes off and do with flying colors. So I would use whatever I like, and if it shows me that it has the ability, then I will use that animal. And if it shows me aggressive and aggression is what you guys are looking for when you're working out here on the streets, then use aggression. If you're looking for a dog with a nose, then get a dog with a nose that naturally has a nose. So we're talking about natural ability and not conditioned ability. So if I want to condition a dog to be aggressive, I want the one that's more aggressive than the one that I condition, because condition, I'm gonna have to keep proofing that every day. But if it's naturally aggressive, then I don't have to proof that. I'm gonna have to try to proof my obedience, because naturally it's gonna attack. So don't fall for that, Corey. Hey, Robert Winfield, you love my methods. Big fan. Love the blood. Appreciate that, Robert. Um, I love all you guys. That's the message that God sends to me, to all of us. Hey, and I appreciate what you guys telling me stuff like that, because sometimes I be like, why am I doing this? What, I want attention or something? It's the love for the breed. It's the love there's other people out there like you guys that appreciate the information, where other people be like, man, shut up. I don't want to hear you talk. I don't even want to see your message. Get your dogs off YouTube. You're whack. That's not the proper way to train a dog. So, to hear you guys say something different from the norm, that's very rewarding. Uh, Melodic Soul. That sounds like a rap group. Melodic Soul. Come to Tropic Cold. So, is it possible to train a 1 year old pup to protect without having a decoy? Well, I don't know if you saw yesterday's blog. That was specifically for that question. Um, you know, I breed is, when you start talking about 60 to 70 generations of certified certificate dogs, those are dogs that are selective breeding. We're using the best on top of the best. So if the puppy's half of this dog, it has characteristics of this dog only, then it's a great dog. Or if it has characteristics of just this dog, then it's a great dog. But if you have two of them together, if I'm half of my sire, half of my dam, then that's greatness. So when we start asking questions like 1 year old without a decoy, now let me tell you, I understand that. I understand what you're asking. I just want you to see where I'm going. Genetic wise, you have some that are greater than others and can do certain things that others can't. Now, you can teach the prey drive without a decoy. That's basically the game you see on that last video I just dropped. And if you haven't, you need to go back to the last video. I don't know the actual topic what I put, but it might have been prey drive building and bite with your puppy, something like that. I just put the video up about an hour ago. That's what you want to do. Exactly in that video. You want to be playing those games, getting the dog familiar with the trigger word. And now once your trigger word is there, and you've got the dog familiar with biting the tub, biting on just about anything you present before it by using your trigger word, stimulating prey drive, then I begin to introduce the puppy soft sleep. I play those games, drag that soft sleeve on the ground. Then I get someone else to hold my dog. Then I present the sleeve itself. Once the dog becomes a pro at playing with the puppy sleeve, then I introduce the dog to what we call a helper. Now the helper will start to play the game, so it's basically a tug buddy who plays the game just like me, familiar with playing with different people. At 1 year old, then we begin to tap into what we call self-defense. Defense is a real threat. Prey and self-defense are not the same thing. Prey game is just a game to chase, run out, and grab whatever there is. Rather, it's an animal like they do in the wild, but with us, with tug toys. Then when you get to defense is a true threat. You don't want to play defense games with your dog. That's going to send a bad message to your dog, where your dog think you're abusing it or beating it, because that's what the person's going to do, something harmful, antagonizing. It's going to bring out that civil aggression drive, like the killer. So the prey drive is just the you heard me say in my last video, I said Mr. Miyagi, right? So Mr. Miyagi gave you wax on, wax off. He was teaching you the fundamentals, the techniques. Then he put you into a real situation where the Karate Kid had to go out there and fight. Now that's self defense. You see that? So wax on, wax off is the technique, the skill, wax on, wax off, the techniques, the skill. So pray is the technique, the skills. Then once he put him into a real fight where somebody didn't like him, had something to prove, he was bringing bodily harm to him. That's civil self-defense. So civil self-defense and prey drive, they are two different worlds. Once you teach a dog this, put your trigger words on it, you're going to familiarize that animal with the threat. And saying those trigger words and it's already learned how to bite is going to use what it's already learned, what it's going to naturally do if the pose of a threat of self-defense and the light bulb effect come off, and hopefully with your praise because you built the connection you're going to get that protection. So no, don't do no real protection work where we making, don't look for the real threat, but look for building a bond and building up your prey. Hey Robert, there's no such thing as aggressive breed. A poodle can develop aggressive. Man, I bet you, man, what you talking about, Robert? I got a Chihuahua bite more people than any poodle you can go find. Poodle, Chihuahua is the most aggressive dog in the world to me. To me, besides those scary Yorkie, a Chihuahua will tear you up. A Chihuahua bite more people than any German Shepherd you'll ever get. And in fact, these pit bulls they call it aggressive or wusses. I don't even, if you can get a pit bull to bite somebody, especially not from a game bred breed, then you good. Maybe, but they don't do nothing. Tyran Tate. How can you get a 10-month-old to stop being afraid of people? Now, when you got one that's afraid, then you want to overly socialize it. Then you got to go out here and carry it in your arm and let everybody play with it, pet it, and just every day of his life do that and play that game, play the games in front of people, and just reassure him that people will stand around and they'll run up on him and spook him and don't do anything to him. Sometimes it take a few weeks, sometimes it take a few months, but if those people keep, they're standing around and it's rehearsed and you tell them premeditated. Remember I told you in all the videos I keep talking about premeditated training sessions are where you have 5 people standing around like you see those guys walking with me, and you don't. Those guys know not to give the dog eye contact, no praise, and you just play your games, or you just pick the puppy up in your arms and take him somewhere and put him down, or you go into like a crowd or a big game and you have the dog in your arms. Don't drag him. Pick him up, carry him, and you sit him down in the spot. You rubbing him, and everybody just walking by, and every now and then people just pet him. They don't just talk to him and give him stuff. After a while, he'll see that these people don't bring no harm to him, and he'll come out of that fear period. But then you do have some puppies that are naturally fearful like that, and you have to come to a conclusion after months of training that you can't deal with that puppy because when your life is on the line, you're going to get yourself killed. So, at some point, if he don't come out of that with doing that, then give up on him and let him go, Mr. Tate. Hey, Corey, so holding a puppy a lot in your arms is important. Well, I think that it helps the dog from going into flight. What I'm saying is, if say you and I both were at a park and I dragged the puppy in by the leash through a bunch of people that he's afraid of, you're gonna give the dog the wrong message where you could have and lock him into fear mode where you could have gotten him out of fear mode if I'd have picked him up, took him in the middle of the crowd, sat him down, and I'm just sitting there holding him, and people walk by. But if you give him an opportunity to run, that's called flight. Once a dog chooses to run, he'll always run, and sometimes he'll never come out of that. That's what I'm saying. Stop! Don't drag your dogs around on leashes forcing them into things. Pick them up where they don't have no choice. They won't make a decision on their own to do certain things. So when you see me carrying this puppy, I carry him a lot and I put him in my spot. My battery's going. My time is almost up. Peter Brown, can you get good German Shepherds, or you just only work with Dutch Shepherds? Can you get good German? There are good German Shepherds, but everybody been breeding them for so many years for looks that they don't care about working ability. Tommy down the street has a German Shepherd with a big old head. He's black. Oh yeah, I want to breed mine to him. So they go down the street breed to Tommy, but nobody's talking about what Tommy's dog did. That's what they've done for the last 2 decades with German Shepherds. Now, how can you, if your cousin Pete is going out to Saudi Arabia, and you're out in Saudi Arabia, and his life is on the line, he has a whole platoon dependent upon him. Now, not just that, the platoon is dependent upon him. You're talking about the Department of U.S. Defense. You're talking about Homeland Security. You're talking about us as Americans. Our lives are on the line, and you don't want anything to happen using animals that just don't have it. Hey, look, my time is up. I enjoyed talking to you. Visit the website at www.vanguardk9.com or just give us a call at 904-450-3339. We are VanguardK9.com, and I'm Master Von DeMuff, the world's greatest puppy imprinter, but so the world's greatest working puppies. Thank you for watching, and tune in tomorrow for our next live stream, people. Enjoy, Vanguardians. Peace.